And welcome back to the what if that fills in the void between the next what if. Obviously we just finished up the Makoto Chia adopting Naruto what if. I realized I forgot to add one thing in that what if. That was the last one. Oh well. We just finished that up. And we are now starting a new one on Wednesday. But on the Tuesday and Friday during the week of What If, I always leave room for just a random one-shot or two-parter I could do in those 2 days. Just to fill in the gap. Because not everyone wants to see just the 2 different What Ifs I got going on. There needs to be a little spice and variety. So this one comes to us from Kakarot Bardock's son and Chara Dreamer, who asked the question... And it's actually 2 different questions rolled into one what if, and you'll see what I mean. What if Trunks had accidentally overshot with the time machine, because we realized that thing did screw up quite a bit sometimes, and went to Planet Vegeta right when it was about to be destroyed. Compiled on the what if is what if he had accidentally killed Frieza? Because let's be clear, he's not going to purposely kill Frieza. Let's get into this. First off, let's address the first one, because these are actually 2 different ones, but they're pretty much the exact same thing, so it makes sense to bring it up in this what if, because let's be honest, if you want my legitimate answer at the 1.5 minute mark of what happens if Trunks goes back to the past and he actually winds up in Planet Vegeta right when it's about to be destroyed, he's not going to do shit. Because, okay, if I do anything, I'm going to change the timeline, not realizing that what he does in the past actually doesn't affect his timeline. But let's be clear, he didn't know that at the time. So, yeah, just long story short, he'll just pop in and be like, oh god, I gotta get out of here. See it's like, damn it all. And then disappear. And, okay, but that's no fun. So let's get into the what if he accidentally killed Frieza. So when he ends up teleporting to Planet Vegeta, he ends up teleporting right as Bardock and the Saiyan forces are basically heading up there and all of Frieza's men were up there too, there to basically attack Frieza. No way, Frieza, you've lived too long. Yeah, you've lived long enough. Actually, but too long for my taste. Bardock was, I think, a cool character, at least in the Tale of Bardock. He's fine, although we saw it Super. But anyway. But Trunks, shows up and he sees the destruction that's about to befell the people. And despite all that he wants to do, to not do anything, that instinct to help people is still there. As he sees Frieza about to, throw the bomb there, throw the planet there, he thinks, all right, maybe instead of killing Frieza, I can just stop him right here and now, not kill him, and that way. Maybe some of these people can be saved. Maybe that's it. Or maybe I can help. Maybe I can escort more of them off. Might change the future a little bit, but maybe I can help them. Ultimately, though, he's thinking about this as he's kind of there to try to save Bardock, the son of Goku's father, thinking, maybe I can do that. Yeah, maybe that'll be a good idea. I'm sounding a bit like Rick. Morty, what you need to do is get the Dragon Balls, Morty. Get the Dragon Balls. No, I can do a decent Trunks, but it's actually more original series Trunks, which, admittedly, when you think about it, does sound a little bit like Rick. All right. So, yeah. It's like, and who is this little monkey? Oh, no, he ain't a monkey, sir. Look. Oh, yes, the poor bastard doesn't have a tail. Oh, no, indeed, you're not. Then who are you, boy? I'm the guy who's going to stop you. Oh, do you think you're going to kill me then? No, of course not. I can't afford to kill you. I can't afford to change things too much around here. But you will not take this planet. Oh, so let me understand this correctly. You don't wish to kill me. You're not going to risk killing me because you don't want to cause any changes. What, are you from the future or something? He's like, you actually believe yourself to be from the future? Oh, that's hilarious! Sabon Notoria, that's a treat of a joke, isn't it? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to end your suffering quickly, because you've amused me so. I'll give you the first quick death. And he basically summons the death. I was like, don't do this. It's like, no. It's like, It's like, oh, what fun this is. And, it starts moving, and it's like, damn it. And they just, boom, it just stop. All of a sudden, just stops. Like, Zaban, Dodoya, Don't my death balls usually keep moving forward? Oh, yes, Lord Frieza. Then why has mine stopped? All of a sudden, because none of them have scouters. No, in that scene, none of them have scouters on. Meanwhile, everyone, including Bardock's looking, is like, it's like, Trunks is Super Saiyan right there. All of a sudden, Frieza's now like, what? What is this? He's holding my death ball with one hand? I think this is yours. It's like, yeah, and now he's thinking like, all right, I know from the stories Frieza can transform, so Frieza's just gonna not realizing it does take Frieza a little while to transform in those forms. So Frieza will just transform, he'll block it, and he'll be scared off. No problem. Come on, get us out! No! He tries to fire at it, stop him, but he can't. Like, no! And basically, it hits not just the ship and Frieza, but the engines. Everything just goes up in explosion, including the death ball, and just obliterates the entire ship. And Trunks immediately realizes, oh, crap baskets. It's like, you. And Bardock's looking, like, you're the legends, aren't you? You're the legendary super. No, I'm not a Saiyan. Look, I don't even have a tail. Nah, you must have gotten rid of it then. Maybe that's how we can acquire that power. The power. The Saiyan race will be the greatest warrior race again. It's all thanks to you. No, I didn't. Oh, hail the Super Saiyan! Oh, hail the Super Saiyan! Because, all of Frieza's men are still there. It's like, okay, Frieza's dead. We don't want any problems. It's like, no, look, oh, God. Oh, Kami, why? Look, I wasn't supposed to do that. You don't understand. But you'll have to stay. Wait, why? King Cold, you'll teach us this power. King Cold will be here. Now, someone brought up the point of saying that they're pretty sure Frieza was stronger than King Cold. Honestly, I actually debate that. Okay, in terms of the long term, yes, because Frieza attained Golden Frieza, which rivaled Super Saiyan Blue, which is a universal level power up. So Frieza clearly obtained a universal level power up as well. But more to the point is that here's why I argue this point on several factors. One, while they never actually flat out said he had more transformations, it's clear when you compare King Cold to Frieza that he was in the second transformation state, and he was already as strong, if not a little strong, or close to as strong, if not stronger than Frieza. Also, he felt confident. Yes, he assumed Trunks was nothing but his sword, but he clearly had the power to take on Frieza, yet he still wasn't overly scared of Trunks up until Trunks started beating the crap out of him. Which told me that he was more confident in his power than he was in Frieza's power. So that leads us to believe that even in his first transformation state, its second form. And yeah, someone also brought us like, that final form is actually his real form. I'm aware of that, blah, blah, blah. But we call them the forms anyway, because that was how we first was introduced to Frieza. In his second form, he was at least equal to Frieza, or not, if not stronger than Frieza, just because he didn't show much fear after Trunks completely obliterated Frieza. Which, then we have to also factor in, assuming that he does have transformation, which I believe Toriyama said in an interview that if he had given, if in theory Cold does have transformations, that his final form would be equivalent to Semi-Perfect Cell. Which would actually be pretty jacked up if he did that there. Like, his third form would probably be something equivalent to first form Cell, honestly. But anyway, I digress. Cold is, for all intent and purposes, stronger than Frieza. At least in my opinion. Anyone who wants to argue it can go ahead and argue it. I don't care. So, this Cold, look, and he realizes, like, well, I've already screwed up the past, but given what little I know, Goku's probably been sent out at this point. So he says, "Fine, I'll show you how to tap into this power. If nothing else, it'll help keep your race alive." Where is Prince Vegeta? Because remember, King Vegeta is dead. I was like, "Oh yes, the prince. We'll have to inform the prince that his father's been killed." And we know that Nappa and Raditz were with him off-world thanks to the Broly movie that they did. So they end up coming back. Trunks is still there. It's like, who is this layabout? This worthless no tail. It's like, this is the man who defeated Frieza. What? He defeated Frieza? No, that's not possible. How could you do something like that? It's like, get the scouters going. What is this guy's power? And he's just showing. And let's actually be clear too. Trunks' base form power is in the millions. Because remember, Super Saiyan's a 50 times multiplier. So for him to beat Frieza so thoroughly, his base power has to be in the millions. So the minute they even try to scan his base power, their scouters blow up. Now, that being said, I think they, similar to Frieza's ship, they have technology to read higher power levels than what the scouters will normally read. And I did like in the Super Broly movie how instead of blowing up when they reach a power that this power level number that the scouters can't handle, they just go into can't read. I do find that hard to factor though, that why the scouter can't comprehend certain numbers. I mean, is it just because there's only so many spaces on the screen? Hell, a calculator will calculate a certain. I mean, calculators even have limits too, but they have far higher limits than what those scouters were showing. It must be like input. It must be some sort of input of energy. Maybe it's or the drastic increase. Either way, they get similar, and they're just scared. Don't worry, I'm here to help you. They told me what's going to happen, and I've already screwed things up enough, so I might as well help you out anyway. Screwed things up. I don't have time to explain it. All you need to know is I'm going to teach you how to do what I did. And what did you do? And here goes into Super Saiyan. Amazing. So basically, he spends. But first, I need an idea. How long is it going to take Cold to get here? Well, given his location, he was retired as Frieza. He gave Frieza dominion over his empire. So given this, they give him a certain time frame. He's like, okay, so what you're gonna have to do is tap into pain. He's like, got a group of them trained. He's like, you gotta tap into your pain, tap into all the anger you ever done. None of them can really do it because, let's be honest, the whole S-cell thing, and you do need a certain level of power, and none of them are quite there yet. So instead, he's like, maybe you guys just haven't reached the level of power yet to be able to do it. And Trunks is kind of sensing out the power. Now, Trunks can't get a number of power level on him, but he can basically tell that most of these guys just don't have the level of power to be able to do it, let alone handle the power. There's only a select group of Saiyans who really have that level of power, that are above level of power. And that would be Vegeta, Nappa, and Bardock, who is still there. And Bardock also got roughed up, if we remember correctly. So he's probably got a Zenkai at this point. Now, what Bardock's actual power level is, admittedly, is a little hard to tell, because you could go from the special power level, which was around 9,500, which put him higher than Nappa. In fact, he was actually the second strongest Saiyan around, minus King Vegeta himself, and if you want to get technical, Prince Vegeta. But he was pretty much like near the top level of the Saiyans at that point. We don't have an idea of what he really was power, because his super version is different than that version now. He is actually a little bit more of the scientist version that they claim him to be. But I'd have to believe he's still probably in that class range. So for the sake of even our numbers, or sake of reasonable numbers that we're not going to try to pull something out of our butt with, we'll still go with the 9,500. Given the fact he got a Zenkai, I will even him out to, honestly, match Prince Vegeta. So him and Prince Vegeta around 11,000 are evened out. Trunks senses like, all right, you three. He's like, what about us three? And don't forget, a lot of Saiyans too aren't that powerful comparatively. Like, they're all in like their hundreds. Like, even the weakest ones are generally in the basic 100 ones when they're adults. Kids tend to be lower. But only even Raditz is still, roughly speaking, in the average range. That's why he's saying is like, okay, you three, Bardock, Vegeta, Prince Vegeta, Nappa. You guys have the highest power levels around here, so I'm gonna train you up so your bodies can handle the immense power that you'll eventually be able to tap into. What do you mean handle it? Right now your powers aren't high enough to even be able to access the form, but we're gonna take advantage of your natural physiology. And they realize, and Zenkai's not even a real term; it's a term that's been made up, but still, it's they know what he's talking about, taking advantage of their biology. So for a little while, he beats the ever-loving crap out of all of them, giving them a lot of power boosts. Now that being said, there is going to be a disparity between Bardock and Vegeta. And I do think it's going to be Bardock who gets the edge in that, because Bardock is an adult, a trained warrior, so he's had more experience fighting, and therefore can take more of a beating. whereas Vegeta's still a kid. And therefore, because he can take more beating, he's actually going to get the crap kicked out of him even more than Vegeta is, despite the fact that Vegeta will go down quicker. I think it's just going to, pair that way. So after a little while of getting lots of bumps here and there, they're all probably in their tens of thousands. I'd say Bardock's probably hitting somewhere in like the 300,000. Vegeta's in that 250 range, and Nappa's probably like 150. So now they're all trying, and eventually they are able to finally do it. They're able to tap into that rage they have, that that real power they have, and become the legendary Super Saiyan. All the other Saiyans have been training too, but ultimately those three finally managed to do it. I think Vegeta does it first, then Bardock follows, and then Nappa. So basically now it's just a matter of training them to work on the form, transformation, get stronger, all that. So by the time, he leaves, all right, I'm going. Try not to die. So basically, once Cold shows up and asks, so what has become of my son? I hear he's gone. What happened exactly? We were know he was planning to destroy us, but we decided to take matters into our own hands. You will not control us anymore, Cold. Oh, and I thought we had such a good relationship, monkeys. Oh, what a shame. It seems I'll have to re-educate you. And no, it's like, well, not before we give you a new lesson, Cold. It's like, oh, and what lesson would that be? A lesson about Super Saiyans. Super Saiyans, you must be joking. Nappa chest was like, so your eyebrows turn blonde and your eyes turn blue. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Oh, I see. It works on all of your hair. Fantastic. Now, how strong have they gotten since the whole training with Trunks? Strong enough that the three of them together taking on, this isn't base form Cold, this is just the form Cold takes. They are able to overwhelm him. You blasted monkeys! I'll destroy this planet! No, you won't! Vegeta, Bardock! We go together, Cold. Consider our parting gift from Nappa. No! And basically, they take him out. A true warrior's death indeed. True enough. And then he's looking at Vegeta and Bardock are looking at each other. Just like, so, what does that leave us? Because Bardock at this point is stronger than Vegeta. It's like, look, I don't care about ruling the planet. You want it, it's yours. You're the king after all, and that's the way we work. Just don't try to get too bossy with me. Perhaps I've underestimated you, Bardock. You're all right. So the Saiyans continue to live on. So what happens with the rest of the plot now? Well, Trunks goes home and realizes that nothing changed anyway. It's like, wait, nothing changed? So I can still go back and save everyone. Yes, yeah, it turns out multiverse is a thing, honey. Sweet. All right. He's like, I wonder how that timeline's going to turn out. As he goes and helps everyone in the actual timeline. Meanwhile, in the altered timeline, when Rad shows up, he doesn't just show up alone. He shows up with Bardock. Because Bardock and Gine, like the three of them show up looking for their son. And they're all far more powerful. Even Gine has gotten some training. Raditz is probably somewhere in like a Namek Saga power level, somewhere in the low 100,000s. Meanwhile, Goku's there, and Goku's still saying, Mom? Dad? Hello, son. We've come to tell you that you're part of the great Saiyan race. It's like, wait, I'm an alien? It's like, well, I mean, to us you're not, but I guess to them, I guess you are. It's kind of complicated. So wait, what are you going on? What's going on here? We've come to see how this planet, how you've managed to colonize this planet. But take this planet. But it seems that you've instead decided to go native. It's like, yeah, that's right. I have family and everything. I don't want to be part of whatever it is. No, you don't understand, son. We didn't really take over the business of taking over worlds like our previous benefactor did. We're still conquerors to some degree, but if the world's good on its own, we don't need to conquer it. And you seem to have things settled up right here pretty well. So, well, good. All right, no, you got a family too. I was like, let's see. Oh, yeah, this is my son. I guess he's your grandson. Oh, well, hey there, little guy. I'm your grandpa Bardock. And Greeny's just like, oh my God, he's so cute. Hi. Oh, so, so basically what happens is the Bardock and Gine family, and even Vegeta visits there on occasion. Well, not really. Actually, Vegeta wouldn't have any reason to visit there because he's not working for Frieza. He has no issue wanting for the Dragon Ball. So it's more that Bardock and Gine and Reds are all just hanging out on Earth from time to time, helping Goku get stronger. Which fast forward all the way to the Android Saga. And here's the thing, is that he tries to go back, but he goes back to a different timeline now because of the damn multiverse. So Trunks never shows up in this verse because he's never born. So, because Vegeta never showed up. I mean, you could make an argument that maybe Raditz actually hooks up with Bulma, but unlikely, at least not in this scenario. Because they're still, it's like, no, they still got lives on planets Vegeta. They just stop in on Earth every now and then, stay for a few months, have some fun, and, peace out. Unfortunately, and they even eventually show Goku Super Saiyan. Unfortunately, with the fact that Jiro's been just skulking around this whole time, he doesn't just get information on Goku and the Super Saiyan transformation, he gets information on Raditz, Gine, and Bardock. So the androids this timeline are freaking hacks compared to what they were in the previous one. In Trunks' timeline, anyway. So when Goku gets the heart virus, it's all over. The Z fighters are all screwed at that point. And not to mention that that Piccolo gets killed. Kami's gone. So everyone's just full out screwed. And it's even worse because not even Gohan and, Gohan's still there, but he dies. So not even Trunks is there to help him. And ultimately then Bobby shows up. Actually, no. Cell wakes up. It basically absorbs the androids after finding them. Decides to just destroy the Earth. And then do his own thing out in space, where he would eventually come against the Saiyans. Now, the Cell versus the Saiyans would be interesting, because his perfect Cell, his power, he would be stronger than his canon counterpart to some degree. And by canon, we mean the future Cell that came from the future to the past, which was altered by Trunks. Why do I smell copper? The aneurysm is palpable. But he goes against Saiyans. Now, at this point in the history, because at that point, the Saiyans have probably learned about the destruction of Earth, the death of their son and his family, and, Bardock and Gine mourned that, Raditz mourns it too. I'm certain at this point, with all the years of practice with Super Saiyan, they have achieved Super Saiyan 2 at this point. They've had to. Super Saiyan 3 might be out of reach still, just because Vegeta's probably more concerned about his rule than actually gaining power. But Super Saiyan 2, definitely, I would imagine that's happened. So the question is, when Cell finds it, so this is Planet Vegeta. So you're the Saiyans. Interesting. I am Prince Vegeta. Prince Vegeta. I don't really have any memories of you, but you, on the other hand, look vaguely familiar. I'm Bardock. Bardock, why is that? Oh, that's right. You were Goku's father. Oh, it's such a shame what happened to him, the heart virus and all. Don't worry though. I'm sure the androids gave his family a quick death. Before I blew up the planet, before I absorbed them and blew up the planet, of course. You bastard. Now, I could have blown up the... Now, you should be more kind. I could have blown up this planet for orbit. But instead, I wanted to see if any of you were worth the fight. And Vegeta, for all it's worth, despite he still has that pride and arrogance, but being the king and ruling his people, actually, I think would curb him out a little bit on that. Like, he has the authority and power, but he has the responsibility of his people, too. So the fact that he heard that a powerful Saiyan, because Goku had that potential, was killed along with his family and all that, pisses him off to no end. You'll be facing me, monster. Oh, is that right? Well, then tell me, Vegeta. Let's see what you've got then. Powers up the Super Saiyan and just boom, just punches him straight in the head. Oh, that's not bad, but it's not good enough. And they fight for a little bit. Vegeta's on the losing end. Remember, Bardock is stronger than Vegeta still. Vegeta, though, just decides, like, screw it, powers up the Super Saiyan 2, which it's not like Gohan versus Cell with Super Saiyan 2, where you completely curb stomped him. It's more that Vegeta edges him out in power. So now they're going toe-to-toe back and forth, like, just back with, and they kind of similar to what Goku and Cell were doing, which is one of the best fights of DBZ, hands down. Ultimately, he does kind of like that. He doesn't really have the instant transmission, although for them to go to Yard Rat isn't impossible. Maybe at some point that could have happened, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing that in this case. He just does the Gallic Gun! Fire! Gallic Gun? What? Oh, no, actually, he doesn't have the Gallic Gun. Kamehameha! That's Goku's technique. How do you know that technique, monster? Oh, please. I know all of your techniques, Bardock, including him throw whatever Bardock's signature move is. He throws that, including this, and he's able to beat Vegeta back because he surprised him. So that's enough. He goes to Super Saiyan 2, except this time he just grabs and just, I see, so you're stronger than the prince. Interesting. Let's see how you back up that strike, Bardock. It's like, boom, and all of a sudden he grabs him with the other hand. It's like, I'm through playing with you. And it's like, Gine! Moon! It's like, Moon, please. You don't have a moon here. And Bardock, Vegeta realizes, like, no, Bardock, allow me. I'd like to get a little payback on this bug. And he throws the false moon up. It's like, all of a sudden, Bardock starts to change. Like, what? No, oh crap, is he dog? He's Bardock suddenly goes, they learned to transform with Super Saiyan? Genius. Oh crap, he's just getting crushed crap baskets. He just, the Ozaru, Super Saiyan 2 Ozaru Bardock just blasts him into oblivion. And just, and then he transforms back. So that's the end of Cell in that regard. The Saiyan race lives pretty much in peace for a good while. Weirdly enough, I believe Boo was located on Earth, wasn't he? Yeah, that was it. Boo was located on Earth. That's where Babidi found him. So the whole Boo thing never happens because Earth was destroyed, which is very interesting. Though I imagine Babidi could find a way to find Boo. If he does, he'd have to go around to different planets and basically absorb other life. He eventually would make it to Planet Vegeta. Unfortunately, the Saiyans at this point more than enough have Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, maybe even for Super Saiyan 3 for someone like Bardock and Vegeta. So at this point, when Deborah and Babidi Pui Pui and Yakon try to like take their energy, they obliterate their asses before when they can do much. Which then raises the interesting question. What happens with the whole Beerus thing? Well, Beerus wakes up, wants to look for the Super Saiyan God. Shame the Saiyans are gone. After our test, Frieza was destroying planet Vegeta. It's like, actually, my lord, the Saiyans are still alive. Wait, what? He failed? Yes, it seems one Saiyan came from the future. Wait, the future? He messed the time? Yes, I was unable to really do anything about it. After all, it's not my place, Lord Beerus. But he seemed to have boasted them in a certain power to transform. Interesting. Whis, let's head to Planet Vegeta. And they head to Planet Vegeta. And basically, he asks, I'm looking for the Super Saiyan God. And Vegeta does remember Beerus. Like, Beerus! And even Bardock's like, because Bardock is older, so he might know of him. We don't know anything about a Super Saiyan God. We have Super Saiyan transformations, but a God is something that we can't quite do. Well, show me these transformations, Saiyan, and maybe I'll be satisfied. He shows off Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, tries to attack Beerus. It goes even worse for him, because I don't think they're as strong as Goku was. So it's like, though that is some impressive power you have, but it's not enough. Ultimately, they don't know. See, the problem is we had to learn from Shenron how to make a Super Saiyan God. Clearly, the knowledge was lost to the Saiyans because Vegeta didn't know anything about it, and I doubt any of them would know anything about it. Now, it could theoretically be in like some ancient texts, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem. We have no proof on that. So, unfortunately, it's like, oh, very well. At least let me see what your food is like. Has it gotten any better since last time you were here? Not bad, but still not quite enough. Tell you what, I'm only going to take half the planet. And he blows up like he did with that guy who tried to poison him. Just taps and blows up half the planet. It's like, and half the people are gone. It's like, damn it, Beerus! And Planet Vegeta is kind of screwed at that point, so they had to get off world, and ultimately recolonized to a different planet. Maybe they live with the Yard Rats or something like that, or whatever. They're refugees at this point. So after that, what happens? Well, unfortunately, nothing good. Right, the Goku Black stuff doesn't even happen in this timeline. The Resurrection S stuff doesn't happen. The Universe 6 stuff doesn't happen. Because he was really only challenged by it. That only happened because Champa wanted the Earth food, and they didn't. There's no Earth to give him food now. So there you go. And then eventually Xeno just decides to destroy the universes anyway. So unfortunately, it ends pretty dark, but at least it was a fun ride in my opinion. So that's what if Trunks had accidentally gone to Planet Vegeta and had accidentally saved it. Yeah, it wouldn't have ended well ultimately. But let me know what you think. Put in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on this. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know the review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want notifications. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And I'll see you folks next time. Later.